Hey Tony, when you watched that Heartbeats thing, did you have to sign up for that 7-day trial?
I just rented it for $3.99, $4.99.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just went with the straight rental.
When I went on there, it was like sign up for the trial. The
Yeah,
urban
if you go to
whatever.
Amazon, you could just watch it.
Yeah, I do want to see it,
Yeah, it was good, man. I was like, man, I don't want this to go off. Ah.
and especially since that's my top 5 favorite movies. So,
Mm-hmm.
Top 5.
I love it.
Jesus.
I've watched the 5 Heartbeats 3 million times.
Five Heartbeats is
I
a
love
classic.
that movie.
I think that's why it can't make my top 5. Because I
Why,
think
'cause
I've
it's a
seen it
classic?
I've seen it so much. I'll have to go like a decade without seeing it to be able to appreciate it the way it should be appreciated.
I don't get sick of it. That's how I rate my top 5. If I don't get sick of it, I could watch The Godfather right now, the whole thing, just take it to the face, and I memorize the whole movie.
That's a lot of memorization.
Oh, I watched that movie so many times. I've watched a movie and went online and looked up all the stuff that they didn't go into detail with to make it make more sense too.
You ready for this? Never seen Godfather.
All right, man. All right, guys. We're back
done.
with another episode of Daddy Issues. We got some whack guests, apparently.
ass
because,
guests.
Wow.
Terrible
Wow.
guess.
Ryan Davis is on the show. He's never took the time out of his busy life of how many years? How old are you?
33.
It's 33 years of existence. You young as hell, by the way.
Yeah.
He's never took the time out to watch The Godfather 1 and 2. 3, I get
3,
it. You can
whatever.
skip that.
Yeah.
You can skip it. But come on, man.
This is how y'all gonna do me for real?
Take the time, man. Take 8 hours out of your life
Right.
and watch The Godfather 1 and 2.
Take 8 hours out of your life to watch.
It'll be 8 hours well spent.
Well spent. man.
And
It's so good.
in my defense, I'm not a big gang movie guy.
Oh.
Not a big organized crime movie guy.
Oh, well then. All right. Did you see Goodfellas?
I watched it last year.
Did you like it?
It was cool.
All right. Then there's no need to even
Yeah,
throw you on the grill.
It was cool. Like, listen, I understand when something's a good movie, it's a good movie. Like, it was a good movie, but it ain't anything I'm gonna go back and watch over and over. I'm just not a organized crime guy, like movie guy. I
What's your
understand that,
favorite
that
genre?
people love New Jack City and things of that nature, but I don't care to watch those movies.
What's your favorite genre of flick?
It's always gonna be comedy. I love comedies, but I love probably romantic comedies, as odd as that is. Not the chick flicky ones though.
Which ones ain't chick flicky?
Hitch, Crazy Stupid Love.
Knocked Up.
Yeah.
There's something
Yeah,
about
nah,
Mary. It's a lot of them that ain't chick
That's
flick.
facts. That's facts.
Yeah.
And even some of the chick flicky ones they be funny. That one,
Yeah.
some of them be funny, man. It's just the typical storylines. I'd be like, all right.
Yeah,
Romantic comedies.
I be wanting to laugh, man.
They be low on my list of genres. Not completely at the bottom, but I just be like,
It's just
I
you
got
know
a
it's gonna
whole
happen
bit.
every time. That's why I
you
be like
know
every
it's gonna-
time.
That's why I like the breakup, because they broke up
and
and
didn't
they
get
didn't
back
get
together.
back together.
Yeah,
And I was like, this is real.
and that movie
Hey.
is hilarious.
Has that movie changed in your eyes, like with maturity? I noticed when I watched it for the first time, I don't feel the same way. Like when I was immature, I didn't think he did anything wrong. I couldn't find no fault in nothing he did. Now I'm older, I'm like, hey, bro, you could have at least just.
Yeah, he did some. What I've done in maturity is like, I just, like you said, understand more of part he played, but I also understand what he was saying. Like the whole, I want you to do the dishes thing. I get what she was trying to say, but I also understand what he was saying.
Nobody
Why the
wants
hell
to
would I
do
want to
this.
do? No one wants to do this. No one wasn't. Why would you? And then when he snapped, it's like, fine, I'll do the dishes. No, I don't want you two more. Jesus Christ! Like I get both sides, but he definitely did a lot of things wrong. But she also played too many games, and they didn't belong together.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. It's more failed relationships than successful ones.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's why I want to see more. They didn't make it in these movies. Take us through the whole, the whole thing, top to bottom. And then they were like, we didn't make it. And then go off, roll the credits.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, that's why the breakup was such a breath of fresh air in a sense, because we rarely see the reality of it, which is a lot of us have had failed relationships.
And even the ones that succeed, you're on your 15th relationship whenever you succeed.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not shooting a good percentage. You won a 15.
For real. Yeah, man.
What your kids?
We got Ryan. Oh, my bad.
I was asking Ryan what his kids like watching.
Oh, they're in the cartoon phase. They don't even like looking at actual people at this point.
Oh, yeah? How old are they?
Yeah. 5 and 3.
Okay. And it's all tunes?
Yeah, Trolls is the joint in my home.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Trolls got some good songs in there.
Yeah, nah.
I be singing.
Listen, Trolls, this is the thing about animated movies. You will never hear the artists that are on Trolls do a song together under any other circumstance. These kids get the best, the best of it all. Like, you don't hear Anderson .Paak with Justin Timberlake ever. But for a Trolls movie, let's make it happen. That's the only way I'm gonna hear that combination.
They got a song together on there?
Huh?
They got a song together on there?
Man, this is everybody singing together on there, man. It's crazy. You go check out the cast for Trolls, man. It'll Trolls World Tour. It'll blow your mind, man.
Oh, that's the World Tour. Okay, I haven't seen that one.
You haven't seen?
Was it
you
good?
Haven't seen World Tour?
No, I just saw the first
don't try to act like
Mr.
Godfather
God.
type scenario.
How old are you? How old are you?
Nah.
How old are your kids?
They didn't watch it yet. They 4 and 2.
4 and 2. So you got a 4 and 2-year-old.
They might have watched it.
And you haven't seen Trolls World Tour.
I see what you're doing.
We got these whack hosts for these shows that we got to get. How are we going to have a show about being a father and you don't see the most popular kids movie in the world? It is the only movie to do 100 mil off stream.
Yeah, they watched it. I want them. I wish they would watch it more so I could have an Avengers break.
They said that movie actually hurt movie theater so bad because it did so well.
Yeah,
I think it was supposed to do $1 billion or something like that off paid views off Amazon. Ugh. I know I bought it.
Yeah, I would love to. I'll watch anything other than Avengers right now. Tony just dip out. His cat's messed up something. I saw him throwing stuff at the cats, abusing the cats. I don't know where he went. He should have dipped. Them cats probably cut a line.
I don't know what it is. The second Avengers movie, I can't, even though it's the highest grossing movie ever, Endgame, I don't really care for like that. Some people didn't. The Infinity War had nonstop action, and then Endgame had to wrap all that up and then finish. But it finished with the last hour of the greatest fight scene of all time. I have to disagree.
That last hour was incredible.
Yeah, they were fighting, but all kinds of stuff was just wrong with that fight scene. When all the women got together, I was like, we're in the middle of a fight. How did all of y'all end up not fighting at the same time?
They synced up.
Nah, synced up.
They synced up. But in those movies, the only thing, my beef with all the Avengers movies, I don't like all the masks taken off.
Yeah.
Like when the last scene, when Iron Man was going to get the gauntlet from Thanos, his mask, why is your helmet off? If he punches you in the face, you die. Like, this is ridiculous. for your mask to be off this much.
I'm gonna tell you why that is, though. It's because Robert Downey Jr. is such a great actor. You don't want to limit what he does with all of them. Face.
You want to see the actors, but I was like, yo, they masks come off for every little thing.
I agree with Keon.
It's just like ridiculous.
Well, I don't disagree that the mask come off too much. I just understand with the Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, well,
everybody else can keep their mask on, but I do want to see
nobody. Keep the mask on, man. Every time. Much. That's why they made Black Panther's mask like that, so he could just be like, he'd be taking it off without using a hand.
Like, did he really have to take it off to say, "Give it to me"? His mask could have stayed on for that.
Could have stayed on.
His mask could have stayed on. They was taking their masks off every 3 seconds. And maybe it's hot in there. I don't know. I'm not going to judge them. I hate wearing masks during this COVID, so I get it. But I'm just like, come on. Thanos about to punch you in the face. You need to have a mask on. I get it from a practical,
real life standpoint. I get that. But like, in the comic books I grew up reading, the mask stayed on unless they was fighting so hard, half of it ripped off. But other than that, it was on. And I'm just like, keep that going, man. They always pull it off. They'd be like, ever since Batman, they've been doing it. Batman Returns. He took his mask off, ripped the whole rubber piece off.
I'm laughing at how passionate Tony is about this.
Because I've been dealing with this for years, man. Sick of it, man. We don't have to see your face to get the dramatic effect.
And the more my kids watch this stuff, the more I just keep picking at stuff. They watch it so much. So I just be like, all right, this don't make sense. This also don't make sense.
You got a 4 and a 2-year-old watching Avengers?
Bro, that's all they watch.
Dude, there's like blood and all kinds of stuff in that movie.
That's all
Get them to watch Trolls, man. What are you doing to your sons?
I watched RoboCop at 6. And I'm fine.
And look at you're not fine. You're not fine, Keon.
I haven't murdered anyone.
You're not fine.
I haven't killed anybody. You know what I mean? There was so much blood. And that RoboCop 2, that was the most cussing I had heard in one set. I was like, oh my God. And that was the first time I had seen like a kid on screen cussing like that. I was like,
oh, RoboCop 2.
Man.
Yeah, that little boy, man. That was something else.
Control.
So
I saw RoboCop 1 in theaters at 10 years old, and I was just like, the dude fell in some toxic waste, got hit by a car, and splattered all over the car. I was like,
that part gave me nightmares. Oh, hell, don't touch me, man. I freaked out.
Yeah,
they made toxic waste so scary.
You just proved my point, by the way. You just proved my point. That's why Avengers isn't great for the children to see.
Avengers is
the
fine.
Incredible with his fried hand walking around with
kids need to know not to grab the hot skillet. That's why.
You can literally just tell them that. You ain't got to.
No, sometimes they got to see it to really feel what it, you know. You need that visual.
No, I'm gonna take my 3-year-old son and sit him down to watch 300.
That's over the top.
Because Avengers is PG-13. Yeah, you talk about real.
You talking about that rated R, that hard.
RoboCop was a hard R.
Oh my God! That's
what I was about to say. Like RoboCop wasn't.
We watched RoboCop.
That was a hard R.
We had no business watching. I remember they took it to see Die Hard. That was the only time my dad just packed it up. It was Die Hard. What's the one with Samuel L. Jackson?
2.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
We went to see Die Hard with a Vengeance, and my mom was like, I don't know if the kids should be seeing this. And my dad was like, it ain't going to be a total cuss fest. That opening scene, Sam was in the street, and my dad just we was in a drive-in. He just took the thing off the thing. He was like, we out. We just left. He just packed up everything. It was so much cussing.
Did you not know who Samuel L. Jackson was?
At that time, Sam wasn't known for cussing.
Starting it. It was the beginning of Sam cussing.
He wasn't known for being the cuss master back then. That opening
right,
scene.
This was 95. He was just getting cracking in 95.
My dad packed up everything. He was like, we out. Because what made it funny was he was like, it ain't going to be a total cuss fest. And 5 minutes in, he was like, this is a total cuss fest.
Yeah, man.
Just packed it up. He's like, we got
even the first Die Hard was a cuss fest, and that was without Sam Jackson. Bruce Willis was letting them rip in that one. He's at the New York cop, wrong place, wrong time.
I don't even know why we was going to see them movies. I remember we saw Boys in the Hood in theaters. I mean, the
Another
drive-in.
movie I don't care for.
We saw that in the drive-in. Well, my mom and dad are both from LA, so that movie for them was like, this is our voice.
Yeah,
Like,
for me, it's Furious. I'll watch every scene with Furious. And
Furious was dope.
He was dope, and then after that,
And Furious was dope, and he was young too. He wasn't like some OG. You know what I mean? He was dope at a young age.
Yeah. He's one of the best movie characters of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was dope.
He was a great character, man. Like, the way they wrote him and the way Lawrence played him, it was perfect.
Bet you he would have never let Trey watch Avengers or RoboCop.
Probably because there was too many white characters.
He would watch it with him and like, what questions you have?
Yeah.
And then Trey would have been like,
You see him shake his hand and not look him in the eye? What I tell you about that? Go over
He didn't even give Trey a sex talk. He just gave him Jimmy hats. But he called them rubbers.
What'd you use?
What'd you use?
What'd you use? I used the number she gave me.
Why are you sweating me, man?
Did you just toss the cat, Maya? Is that what I just bore witness to? You just tossed the kitten?
Did you just toss the cat, Maya? Is that what I just bore witness to? You just tossed the kitten?
Try to slide that in real quick.
I'm gonna have
for those that don't, leave that in.
Nah,
leave it in.
That's got to be part of this.
I threw my hat at midnight a minute ago.
I saw that. Then your camera cut
in.
out. I was like, how hard did he throw that hat? Camera cut smooth out after that.
But I got up, never came back. Now, for those that don't know, Ryan, tell us about your children. You know what I'm saying? What are the demographics?
Okay.
For
those who didn't see my other 2 appearances on this show,
been here twice?
my children.
I didn't know that.
Was you on here twice?
Man, I don't know.
I think you just did it once.
Maybe I was supposed to do it 4 times. But I got a 5-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son.
Now, same mom?
Same mom.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm done with children. You got to earn my kid from here on out.
Did you get snipped?
Mm-mm. But you got to fist fight me to keep it. So, same difference. Same difference.
So you just spent the last 3 months with them, right? In Carolina? How was that?
I'm going to tell you, I dropped the ball. What do you mean? Looking back on it, I should have been more hands-on through that 3 months. I think I took for granted some real opportunities. Now that I'm here, and I think my daughter really let me see that. When it was time for me to go back, she was like, if she wasn't even on some "I'ma miss you" type thing. Her attitude was more like, you were here, but you wasn't really here. So, yeah, my daughter's real vocal in how she feels, and she wears her attitude on her sleeve. So I could tell there was real missed opportunities there. We were sharing the same space, but I don't think she felt like, because usually we do a lot of things together, but the world shut down, so we can't go to these places and do these things she's accustomed to. So, us watching TV together or sharing the same space and eating together, I don't think she really looks at that as quality time. Mm-hmm. And I think there was a teaching moment in that moment that I just missed it. And because of that, I just wish I could. This is not something people say a lot, but I wish I had more time to spend with my children that could have possibly annoyed me. But
yeah,
I just would have handled it differently,
I mean, that's interesting she said, because I think about that every time I get annoyed. I'd be like, let me just take this annoyance to the face.
Yeah.
Because it's just I can't get this time back. this is at the age where, hey, if they want to be up under me or have me change their damn costume. This morning they woke up at 8:30, and by 10 o'clock they did, I think, 6 costume changes. And I was like, and the thing is, I don't mind that they're playing Avengers, Batman, Superman, whatever, but like I'm involved in the costume changes, and that's when I start getting annoyed. Because I'm like, yo, just put it on yourself. I need you to put these swords in my back. I can't put the mask on correctly. I can't. I'm like, well, be one character for a while. Y'all want to switch every 3 seconds. And every time I'm about to get like upset, I just be like, you know what? Forget it. Just put the Spider-Man back on that you just took off 3 minutes ago. Fine, whatever. Like, if that's what we got to do. I was so annoyed this morning. I was like, God damn it.
They're giving you a full Beyonce concert and costume changes every morning.
Every morning. I was like, how do you change this many times before breakfast? That's the thing.
Spider-Man
they gotta
got
act
knocked
out the whole thing.
But this is the time where he wakes up and come back. I need you to put the costume back on me so I can wake up and come back into the fight.
And my oldest, he doesn't halfway do this. Like, if he's Superman, he puts on his blue pants, his Superman shirt, the cape, and the whole outfit. But then has me go get his suit and tie out of his closet so he can put that on over the outfit. He gets his fake glasses. He was like, I'm Clark Kent now. And then when the thing jumps off, he takes off the suit and he's Superman, but then needs me to put the suit back on him because he's Clark Kent. Like, he does that. So it's like I'm involved as hell in their game because they need me to play wardrobe. That's all I am. I'm an unpaid intern doing wardrobe. It's ridiculous.
That's funny.
But their creative minds and stuff, I'd be like, it's fun to watch them do this. Like, he's like, I need this jacket to go with this tie with the glasses so I could be Superman and I got to go save the day. And I'd be like, all right. And then the fighting, even though we got 2 of everything, the fighting, I want that hammer. They're the same hammer. They're literally the same. We bought 2 of them. And you think one is slightly bigger than the other. Why do you think this? Why? Why? Keelan trying to boss Kendrick around. You need to be Batman because I'm Superman. But I want to be Thor. I'd be like, well, Thor can fight. You know, it's not a big deal. But Keelan's like, no, because that's Justice League and this is Avengers. And they can't mix. I'd be like, oh, my God.
That's valid.
He don't mix DC and Marvel.
Valid.
He does not mix.
You know
that's
what
valid.
had me laughing? I knew before Tony said it that he was going to validate not mixing the universe.
That's valid.
I knew it.
The kids already know.
He don't mix them. He puts them away in
Keon
separate
is
boxes.
doing a fantastic job, man.
It's so annoying.
That's valid. We can't have Superman hanging out with Black Panther. That's just not. It's just not gonna happen. All right, we got lawsuits. We got all kind of stuff we got to work through before we see that happening in the household. All right,
maybe going in, but I'd be like, oh well, this is.
Man, I saw Tony post a clip around Father's Day with his sons, and I remember seeing your sons for the first time on Last Comic Standing. I keep forgetting you got some big old boys, man.
Man, grown man. Serena be 21 in January.
Jeez, man. Tony, I did this.
Fully realized.
I did this thing where I was like shouting out comedians, the new age comedians under 40, right? And somebody was like, "How you gonna leave Tony Baker off?" I was like, "You and Tony Baker got to have a conversation. This is not in between me." You might want to. Tony is very clear about his age all the time, but apparently they just keep looking at you and going, "Nah, he's not 40." You know, so I was like, "Nah, he new age, but he's older than some of us, yo. That's it. But he's part of this.
Fully realized.
Yeah, he's part of this group. It's just the problem is y'all. It ain't us. The problem is y'all. Y'all got hit to him late. I knew about Tony. I done known about Tony for about 10 years now.
And people don't be reading, man. No matter what you post, they can clearly say under 40. People like, nah, man, Tony Baker though. You know,
bro. I said under 40. Somebody said, "What about Bill Burr and Joe Coy?" I was like, they 50. Like what?
But I didn't know how old Joe Coy was.
He's
I
49,
know
yeah.
Bill Burr. Bill Burr is old.
Yeah, it's like, man.
I
Isn't
knew
it
Joe-
weird?
How old
was
is
up
Joe?
there.
How old is Joe?
49.
He's 49?
Yeah.
Wow. I never would have thought. He got a young energy too.
Yeah.
Them grades
you
tell a
know-
story though.
You know, times have changed, though. You know what I mean? When we were growing up, what 50 looked like versus what 50 looks like now is two completely
Right.
different things.
People just look old back in the day. Like you look at people's baby pictures from back in the day in the black and whites, even when they was 5, they look 36. And I'm just like, why did people look like this back then?
I think it was partly clothing.
Clothing had a lot to do
I
with
think because like I look at my dad, his glasses at 19, he was like, I got these new glasses, but they was like goggles. He was like, at that time, he was like, these are the freshest glasses out, and I'm like, you look 108 with them glasses. And he was super young. He was super young. My dad was the music was different too because rap was like a thing, but like it wasn't. So what they grew up on was different. So I remember my dad, he was only, 26 years old, but he's in the car playing nothing but like Motown. And I'm like, you don't like any younger than me? You're 26, bro. Like, why? It was just everything was different. Music, everything was different. You weren't allowed to be, and people had jobs and kids earlier. Like, you was just old faster. You got a full family at 23. Like, I'm old.
Yeah, I have a super.
I had
young
2
mom.
kids at 23.
Yeah.
I got a super young mom. So, like, my mom was the exact opposite as your dad. My dad was like your dad. My dad would call rap hippity hop. He was that old. But my mom's 50, so she's like Diddy and Andre 3000 and them age. Like that's so yeah. Like she was into all of that. She was the only thing. Is there a black mom who didn't like Anita Baker? Like my mom woke up every Saturday to Anita Baker records. That had to be done. But
man, the weekend Anita Baker playing.
But
You wake up,
that,
do you bring me joy?
I remember my mom going to the MC Hammer concert with like the Hammer pants and everything, bro. Like I remember her going to go see Outkast and Lauryn Hill, and my dad being like, "Who? I'm not going to go see that hippity hop nonsense."
My mom.
How
wasn't
old are
into
y'all
it.
parents?
My parents are 55.
So they was born like late 60s.
Yeah. So, but my mom and dad weren't really into it. But my auntie, she's only 12 years older than me. She's the reason why I was such a 90s R&B head and Pac and all, because that's what she was listening to, and she used to live with us. So she would go. So the reason why I was so big on like High Five and New Edition and all that stuff, because that's what she was listening to. So I was like, well, I would take this over, the Temptations. Like, yeah, I'm here.
They got old. You know what, man? Because I just realized, Keon, your parents are just a couple years older than my oldest brother.
Yeah.
There's a 10-year gap. So he's 53. I'm 43. So, but he was listening to a lot of 80s pop, and then he transitioned into like house music because, Chicago, that's the thing. And then he was listening. Then I put him on the Wu-Tang Clan, and he was with it. Like before that, he was listening to Public Enemy and all of that.
Yeah.
And then, but he wasn't listening to a lot of like old Motown or like old soul and none of that. He wasn't on that.
Yeah, mine were.
But he was listening to like the new rappers on the more so the East Coast tip. But he did have Ice Cube and like Warren G's album, but he didn't really rotate them like that.
I think what it was too. I think my dad was just like, I'm not gonna listen to this with the kids in the car. So I don't know what he listened to by himself, but because he liked Public Enemy and he liked NWA because he was from LA. So with NWA, he was like, this is our voice. So when that dropped, he was into it. But I just think maybe they didn't play it in front of us because he knew when we watched the NWA movie, he was in. He was like, I remember this. I remember the. So I think it was just we in the car. You gonna take this? He liked jazz too. He loved jazz. So,
I like it.
so he was like, you gonna take all this, Dave Koz and what's the
The white cats. Huh?
No, I was about to. Was George Benson, and he was doing all the. That's what he was. That was his thing. And
my brother liked jazz too.
He loved it.
Gerald Albright and like Najee.
Yeah, he loved Najee. He loved
Najee. Najee got a Just an Illusion album. It's incredible, but there's a lot of singing on it.
Yeah, that was his thing.
It's incredible.
And we'd be like, Dad, can we just please listen to some pop? He'd be like, nah, take this sax.
I didn't get into rap. I wasn't really exposed to rap. My Uncle Ray listened to rap heavy. That was and so if we were ever in his car or whatever, that's the only time I would hear rap. There was no Wu-Tang Clan, none of that. If it wasn't for my Uncle Ray in Rap City, I don't know where my rap exposure would have been. Thank God for P. Diddy making it palatable for my mom, because that was the transition to where it actually started to happen. You know, when people hear Juicy and they hear that Juicy Fruit sample, you know what I mean? It makes it easier to listen to. So when Diddy was doing all those 80 samples, you know, it was getting parents to be that little bit of nostalgia for them to listen to it.
If they was open to it, my dad would just get mad at sampling. All y'all do is take our stuff. That was him. Y'all just take all our stuff. If I ever played a song that was a remix or even a cover, he would bust in and be like, you know where this came from, right? You know where this is from, right? Yeah, they wasn't original. But like, he would say it like it was going to hurt my feelings. And I was like, I don't care. Well, one, I already heard the original because of you. I still like both. They can both coexist. I don't need to hate on one. He was just old, so young. He just hated anything that wasn't his era. He just hated it.
Man.
That's because in his mind, when he heard the sample, he was like, oh, this is... And then when he about to sing to it, a rapper comes in, he was pissed.
Spice
he was like, man,
great videos of that.
Yeah, it's just like
videos.
You think it's the original? You about to come in singing, and then you hear Biggie like, "Hey man, what's this? Ruining my track."
Heavy D and MC Hammer was the rappers allowed in my house.
My dad did like both of them.
Heavy D.
He did like both of them.
I loved Heavy D, man.
Happy rap. I grew up
man,
on Happy Rap.
He was out here moving.
Yeah. I'm a huge Will Smith fan. I love a Happy Rap. I grew up on Happy Rap, so Will Smith is my guy.
Will Smith got some cuts.
Will Smith can rap though. Like he really can rap. He just got labeled
it was
as
Happy
like this.
Rap that was allowed. So
yeah, feel good. You know, nothing too heavy. Ain't nobody getting killed in my song.
My dad would rock. He would rock with the Happy Rap or the conscious rap. Mm-hmm. So self-destruction and those songs like that, he was all in. But I think he was into the gangster rap. But I think you know, when you come from that environment, I think you don't want to be reminded of it. So he kind of was like even with some of the hood movies, he would like it, but then he'd be like, you could see him like kind of go off down like memories. And I think he just was like, man, I don't need to. I think NWA only hit for him, like I said, because he's from LA. But the rest, he kind of was like, y'all just talking about killing all the time. But I'm like, I seen that. I don't want to hear about this shit.
Man, I like your dad. Never even
And I was like, all right.
Well, really like your dad. Because that's why I can't. I grew up around it. Why would I want to? I just don't, you know, and it would make me mad because so many of my friends from, you know, those times that I grew up with was like, they speaking to us. No, we need to make a change. Nobody ever pays attention to those parts of the movie that at some point in the movie, there's a call for change. But no,
the character
movie,
arc.
They love the most violent Negro in the entire movie. You see Menace? Oh man, O-Dog is be like, why?
Yeah. I didn't like O-Dog.
Doughboy. You saw the way Doughboy was like, we got a problem, pulled the gun on No.
I did like Doughboy though.
Man.
I did like Doughboy. Doughboy had redeeming qualities.
The way his mother treated him.
Yeah, I like Doughboy, but I didn't like O-Dog. He was too much.
I don't like
O-Dog was one-dimensional.
Yeah, he was too much.
Man,
I was just like,
Lorenz Tate played him dope, but he was one-dimensional as a written character. It was like, why is he like this?
Like with Doughboy, you could see that this is my environment, but I wouldn't choose this. But this is just where we at. Like this is just this ain't what I want, but you know, hey, it is what it is. But Dog, he just seemed like he just wanted smoke all the time, and it was just like, God, man, calm down.
And those be people's favorite characters, and that's the part that just I'm like, nah, man, and I don't know, maybe it's because you know I became conscious pretty early in life. I got exposed to it. Thank God for YouTube. It was very because my parents, my mom used to think like Farrakhan was crazy. So we couldn't watch nothing he said or anything like that.
I think a lot of people did back then because that's what the media made him out to be.
Yes, exactly.
So it wasn't even black people's fault. A lot of stuff they thought because they only exposed to what they exposed.
Oh no, the media do their job.
They did their job.
They do their job. If they want to discredit you, they will get it done.
It's just now it's a lot harder because we on our own wave. So we'd be like, nah, we can just go look this up ourselves.
Yeah.
Nice try.
I ended up down the YouTube rabbit hole of blackness. I don't know what happened. It was just all these content creators. They didn't even have a lot of views. Like they were just really pro-black. All these sisters with natural hair or whatever with like 38 views. I was just watching all this stuff and learning all this stuff. And then I was like, man, that explains why I don't like seeing the images that I see or whatever. I just really didn't have a way to put it into words. And then I would just learn about our history that they never taught us in school or anything like that. And I was like, you know what, man, this is dope. And we just need and being from the hood, I think the problem I have too is most of us ain't gangsters. The hood, if let's say the hood has like 300 people, it's like 15 gangsters in the
Everybody else is trying to
small percentage.
Yeah.
Most
everybody else trying to navigate.
Yeah.
Around the gangsters.
So right. So where's our stories? Most of us are not the gangsters.
But that was Trey.
Stories.
That was Trey and Boys in the Hood trying to navigate.
And Ricky.
Yeah, they were just trying to get out of here. That's to keep our head low.
That was my upbringing.
Yeah. Where's
Chicago
our stories?
Chicago is notorious for gangs.
Everybody hates Chris. My dad was Julius. You know what I mean? Like, that's my father. That's
Keon. Keon is
Julius.
Yo, but that was my life in Chicago, man. Chicago. Everybody know about the gangs in Chicago and the violence. And like growing up as a regular kid around, gangster disciples and like all of that, it was just like, yo, there they go. It was like we would see them and be like, oh, it's one of them. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like we was all, one of them clicked up and stuff like that. It was just like they were kind of like boogeymen within our neighborhoods. But we kind of knew him. Or we know a kid that transitioned into that lifestyle. We was like, oh, he one of them now. So it was just like, but we was regular. But from the outside looking in, we all looked like GDs or vice lords or any of that. And we like, no. To not be able to wear a hat and it slightly get tilted, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So like, I ain't even wearing no ball cap. Forget that. Just give me a Scully.
Yeah, so
just to be on the safe side.
Hey,
it was just like this was the norm.
Like that. I had stories like that, and I'd be like, "Yo, you're scared to wear hats, scared to wear colors."
The colors thing, especially like Tony's from there was irritated. When you not from there, you're even more irritated because you're just like, I don't understand this.
Yeah,
I don't like when I would visit my family in LA. I'd put on an outfit, they'd be like, you can't wear that. I'm like, nigga, it just matches. This Jason Kidd jersey is fire. I got the J's with it. I just want to be fresh. And it was like, no. And I remember I wore some red Jordans anyway. And I was with my grandpa. My grandpa's 80-something years old. We're at Popeye. And we walking into the place. Somebody get out the bus. What up, blood? I'm like, I'm just here with my grandpa. Like, why can't I wear these shoes? This is ridiculous. Like, really?
That
I can't get chicken?
That part in the wood aggravated me because they were like, take that hat off. They were like, it's blue. He was like, it's Carolina blue. This man can't even represent where he's from.
Nope.
Like, and if you from the Carolinas like me, man, there's so much Tar Heel stuff all over the place. Man, I was like, man, you should move back. You shouldn't be oppressed like that. And I'm a Duke fan. I don't even like Carolina at all. Now, I would want every Carolina person to take their hat off, but just my pride and where I come from and knowing, you know, what things that are like cultural to us, man, like that rivalry is culture, man. You don't talk to your friend that day when Duke Carolina played. Your best friend. You'd be like, hey, bro, don't talk to me today. And if y'all win, don't talk to me tomorrow either.
Now take that passion for sports teams, apply it to your gang life. And the Green Bay Packers killed your cousin. when you see that G as a Bears fan, you're going to be ready to fire on. So that's how they look at it. Because I've seen this dude. I was at Soldier Field one day last year, and this dude had on the Green Bay shirt. And I was just like, you got a lot of nerve wearing that shit in here. Just on that. And that's just on sports. You know what I mean? So, gang life is just a big sports rivalry, except people
that's
really
a great analogy.
Murked.
That's a great analogy. As soon as you said that, I understood to the highest degree. As soon as you said that.
That's all.
But it's annoying for like if you're a non-sports fan.
Yeah.
You watch like I don't understand this, and so for me not being in it, I'll be like, "Yo, why y'all doing this?" Like I almost understand neighborhoods and whatnot and our personal beefs, but just this, I'm like, why? And you if you in it, you know who not in it. So why you bothering me? You know I'm not in this. Like you know I'm not suiting up. I don't have any alliances here.
But they're Jordans. They're Jordans. You can't claim Jordans, sir. I'm sorry, I don't care what you claiming. It's you don't go before the guy who made the shoes. This is not the Blood Edition Reds. These are 13s, okay? I'm wearing...
It was just so ridiculous. I was so irritated. And my papa, he didn't even flinch because, you know, he lived there. So he was just like, let's just go eat. And I was just like... I was so annoyed. Like, at just the stupidity of it.
Well, and, you know, excuse my ignorance, but I've just never understood what you're looking for whenever you join something like that. Is there some...
I mean, they said, I get it.
I get why.
I definitely get it.
I don't.
Protection.
I love both you guys to death. If y'all go, hey, we about to ride on some fools and shoot them, I'm like, hey, man, I never thought you guys would go down this path. Y'all might have to.
But you're going to say that now. When
I love
you're
both
young.
of y'all to death. I scream your praises to everybody. You know what I mean? If there was something major going on in y'all life, I would hope to be there. But y'all do some stuff like that, and I'm like, nah, not my freedom. I don't play with my freedom.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even expect nobody to ride with me like that. I'd be like, no, man, stay home. I got this. I'm that type of guy.
Yeah.
You don't want no part of this, man. Get out of the car. You know, but
that's what was done to me growing up. Whenever my friends was about to do something wild and I'm trying to be, because my dad didn't play, so I wasn't in no streets. I wasn't in it was do it. You can either deal with them streets or deal with me. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna choose to I'm not. So even when I tried to I remember I tried to sell drugs one time and the person was like, man, get your ass out of here.
That's what happened to me. That's my story. That's my story.
Get your ass out of here. This ain't for you.
I succumbed to the streets and the streets didn't want me. That is my story. I
got rejected. I filled out the application.
That's why Ryan don't like the street movies, man. He got rejected.
Mine was
like, forget all that.
It was 100% about I just didn't like where I was in life. I was doing things that was quote unquote the right way to do it, and everybody who was doing the things that were the wrong way to do it had nice cars. They were getting custom paint jobs. They had all the girls. I was like, man, I risked my freedom for some of that. So just for a little bit of that. Working in a grocery store and not having nothing is not
right.
It's not working for me. It was for that, but they were like, "Man, this ain't even you." Like, nah, the streets rejected me. They were like, "Nah, you can't do this."
And my ignorance, I didn't realize. I was just like, "You gon' it's just selling. I'm just handing out product to people and getting money for it." I wasn't thinking about all the other stuff that comes with selling drugs. I was just like, I'm just gonna hand out some stuff, and then I've had jobs before. This is the same thing. It's like a
customer service,
lemonade stand. I just
customer base,
and it's over. You know what I mean? I didn't know corner boys out there getting robbed and territories and all that.
But this is another thing too. Let's say you just get into the game, right? Are you gonna find new users or current users? Because then if you find current users, that means you're hurting the sales of somebody else.
Exactly.
So
you're not thinking about that. Yeah.
It's too much, man. I will say this. I've never been like...
You gotta go create a base.
Attracted to the drug deal game. When the dude offered me the sales pitch in the alley in Chicago, he's like, yo, sell this for me. And I was like... I made a decision right then and there. I was like... I still want to play with toys and stuff. This is just too fast for me. I was like, nah. You know what I'm saying? But that was the pitch. That was the moment where I was just like, I'm going to go this way.
Man,
and I was like...
I saw my homie.
Because every movie that I saw, like, at that time, Scarface was a movie I saw about a drug dealer in current 80s time where I was just like, it didn't end well for him. Cocaine, and I had family members dealing with drugs and stuff, and I was just like, nah, I don't like this.
That was another reason. I don't think I could be responsible. Like, I could see a crackhead and be like, I helped them do that to themselves.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah. And it was a man I wanted to kill when I was a kid because he was supplying my family with drugs.
Oh, okay.
And when I was brought around him, I saw him as like a demon, and I was just like, his house smelled like crack smoke, and I was just like, I want to kill this man right now because I knew what he was about. He was like a light-skinned dude. He had like a whole bunch of freckles everywhere, and he answers the door with no shirt on. I was just like, this dude is destroying lives. And I knew that as a kid.
Part of me wish you had joined the gang just so you could tell your stories. I would love to hear gang stories told by Tony Baker with your sound effects and everything. Man, I would
take it to the stage.
God.
I got shot in the hips in 96. Man, listen.
Do you think growing up in it like changed? Because like my family, we weren't shown that. I didn't know why that lady was tripping like that or why. Until I got older, I didn't know half my family was on crack in the 80s. Like I just was like, oh, this nigga got a lot of energy. Like, I didn't think nothing. I didn't know, like when they was like, so-and-so's in jail again. And I'm like, I don't know why. I didn't know they running drugs from California to Washington and a big cocaine. I didn't know none of that. So do you think knowing what was going on shaped why he was like, I don't want no parts of that?
I think it had a lot to do. It was a mixture of reality and fiction because, as you know, Keon, I'm movie McGee and I always have been. So I would see a lot of cocaine use in movies and people wilding out on cocaine. Then in real life, I'm seeing like crack, cocaine, and I'm just like, I'm already piecing together like, yo, this ain't the move right here. And it was just like, it was funny to see it on TV and then see it in real life. And it's just like, nah, man, I ain't feeling this.
I saw lives ruined. I think that'll do it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you meet a crackhead and they were already cracked out when you met them. But I've seen some of the, they were doing just fine in life. And then you see it just take a toll on them and completely change them. Change their appearance, change the way they talk, change the way they act, and it literally turned into a crazy person, but in somebody unrecognizable, both physically and mentally because of it. And I just didn't want to be a part of that.
Yeah, see, I got the first hand. I never saw the first hand because it wasn't my immediate family. It was, the relatives, and I only saw them on holidays, and I just didn't until I got older, and then I was like, these people ain't right. And then, but I never caught when they first, I was born in 84. So when it first hit, I'm a child. And then by the late 90s, people ain't really, they're now you just see the leftover, and you're just like, oh, okay, that's why they used to do this, and that's why we had to put stuff away when certain people came over, and that's what, like, I didn't. My mom would get so mad. Don't leave your stuff out. Go put your stuff in the back room, lock it away. And I'm like, so and so coming over. I'm like, okay, like why is that? Why is that a thing? Or why people? And then back then, kids are supposed to mind their business. Do not involved in the conversation. Yeah, so I was just playing, and we didn't. I didn't know why my cousin had to come live with us, and I didn't. I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, I never asked those questions either, bro. Like, we've had so many relatives live in and out of our house. I never asked those questions. I think I put stuff together later in life. I just saw all these things, and then once I had an understanding, I was like, oh, that's what that was. Because even my understanding of it, like you said, a few years make all the difference. I was born in 87. My oldest brother was born in 83. And our memories of growing up in the hood are they're not completely different, but how we viewed certain things were completely different. He would go, you remember this? And I'd go, yeah. You know why that was? Nah, that's just the way things were. And he'd be like, well, this is the way I saw it, because I knew exactly what it was. Yeah. And I didn't know what it was. Like, I didn't even know we were poor. I didn't know. I thought everybody lived like this. You don't eat meat out of a can? Who doesn't eat meat out of a can? Everybody eats. What are you talking about? I don't know how old I was when I figured out that meat was supposed to be named after the animal. I didn't know
that. I didn't find out about the money struggles until we moved to 75th, 79th. That's when I was like, when they started really roasting me for my shoes, I was like, oh, we were struggling. Because everybody in my other community, we were all in the same boat. So it was like, this is what we doing. I knew food stamps was a point of shame at the time, but it still didn't really register until I moved to a different part of the South Side. And then that's when it was like, oh, well, let me not wear the Pro Wings then, huh, guys?
Man.
They was on me.
It wasn't until like middle school, high school, and we had moved. We had got out the hood. It wasn't completely out of the hood. We went from assisted living to our own house in a bad neighborhood, a bad-ish neighborhood. So, but I would go to school, niggas had Jordans, I had Nikes. Nike what? Nikes. They
had Nike,
they were Nike. Right, but this was at a time, ain't no tell, it could have been clearance rack, anything, $25 a night, but they were Nikes, just enough to make you go, well, at least they didn't come from Walmart. That's it. Man, my clothes, there was no name brand and nothing ever. And then I was like I was the middle of 7 kids at the time too. So yeah, from 2 high school dropouts. So it wasn't a whole lot of, money to play around. And I remember I got a job and I started buying clothes, and someone pulled me to the side at school. Was like, you have a job, don't you? I was like, damn, is it that obvious? They were like, man.
It was like, because you ain't selling drugs. We heard you got kicked out. So you ain't doing that. So you definitely got
it. But I just realized that, and it is crazy to, as a kid, to be judged or criticized on some things you can't even control.
My God, man. That's what they was all about when I was growing up, man. And then, like, yo, I don't have any jeans, y'all. I just got this one pair. Get off me.
Yeah. I was kids who didn't have a father but had Jordans, and I had my dad, and they be like, yeah, you need to get you some Jordans. I'd be like, man, you need to get you a dad. Like, this is...
They didn't know what they was missing at the time. Like, he was never there.
I got to play one.
I look at my kids now.
I don't cry on Father's Day.
Yo, I look at my kids now and how they have grown up in a totally different environment, totally different areas. Because my oldest son has been asking me about Chicago recently because he's into like Chicago artists, Lil Durk or whatever. He from Chicago. Mm-hmm. So he's been watching all these like Chicago, like gang stories and all this. So he been asking me like, man, what was it like? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I want to go out there. I was like, nah, you can go out there, but it's just, and that just made me think like, yo, my sons have grown up completely different than I did in terms of environment.
And you guys
And
never
you always
visited,
want your
right?
kids. They haven't been. They haven't
Yeah.
been to Chicago with me, and so I want to take them so they can see it. But it just goes to show you always want your kids to have a better experience than you had.
I don't. But
And
go ahead, keep going.
and it's just the one thing I do like about Chicago that it instilled in me a sense of blackness and like pro-black and like black pride that I feel like is not out here in Burbank in New Mexico where my sons were raised. So, they had to get it from like me or like, the internet. But growing up with that violence and also a sense of pride, I think was dope about Chicago and how I grew up. Yeah.
What was you gonna say, Ryan?
I just want to put like a whole bunch of money to the side and take every gang member and fly them to a place with their gangster ass and to be in a field and shoot it out. Y'all so bold. Stop shooting it out around civilians. All of that. Just go to a field, may the best man win, and then y'all go home. This thing be over.
Y'all
with.
go?
Yeah. And then
Go
whoever
home.
left, go
Last
home.
man
Whoever live, go home.
Yeah, we would do, like piggybacking off Tony said, we grew up in the suburbs. But what we would do is every summer and holidays we went to South Central. So we would do just enough, be like, I want you to see, and let's get the hell out of here. So that's how they would do us. They was like, we're gonna raise you here, but you're gonna see, where we were raised. Because I remember one time we were in Oakland, I think, or something, and I was a little kid, and I seen this dude walking down the street, and I grabbed my dad, because I was like, this dude is I don't know what he about to do. And my dad was like, hey man, let me tell you something. Never be afraid of your own people, man. He was like, that's just a dude, and that I'll never forget that. And he was like, all right, we need to have y'all around more. You know what I'm saying? That's when we really started doing more even hood stuff, heavier. Not too much, but just enough to be like, you can't be out here freaking out because you seen something that's not what we used to seeing or whatever. You know what I mean? Or you associate black with dangerous or
man,
right.
Stuff like that.
Man.
So
I absolutely love your dad, bro.
so he was like, don't do
That's
that.
dope.
I could tell it bothered him when I did it too. And I remember that they stopped letting my little brother watch Cops. They stopped, they just shut everything down. Every negative black, they just shut it down. They was like, hell no. Y'all not finna be thinking that we are all bad or scary or whatever.
Right.
Like, nah. They shut it down. And then they would take us out. Even when we went to the hood, they would take us to the front. My dad would be like, man, this place got the best ice cream or this. And I'd be like, you know what? This ain't so bad.
Man, I did Memphis with Ray Grady. Ray Grady had me laughing so hard because we went to a club after, right? And I was just walking around the club willy-nilly. I was standing in VIP or whatever. Nothing, and Ray was like, either Ryan is a killer or he's the greenest, just unknowledgeable dude in the world who just doesn't know the situation that he's in. But I'm just not scared of my people, bro. I'm not. And I grew up around people. There's people in my family who definitely shoot up houses and had their houses shot up in. I just know them as that's my family. So I don't see it like that. The reason I have so much negative to say about the stuff that people be doing is because, you don't have to, man. You really don't have to. You don't have to go down that road. And I know it's hard, man, because there's people who had it worse than me. My parents weren't addicts. But if your parent was an addict and you couldn't get clothes and couldn't get food and couldn't get those things, and then you decided to sell drugs or join a gang for survival, I can't knock you for that. But whenever you join some of these gangs for survival, you looping into the same people who's selling that to your parents that got you in that situation in the first place, and you're going to do it to some other kid, and the wheels on the bus go round and round.
But nobody's thinking about that at that age.
I understand that, but it's
like at that age, it's just a cycle that we reflect on. But at that age, people are just like, man, I'm just hungry.
Yeah.
Or just, I'm just tired of wearing this shit. Or my
One
mom
time
don't
I
even
didn't
come
get
home
a job
some
because I
nights.
said that. They were like, what is your thing on still? I think I was interviewing for Best Buy. They were like, what is your view on if you saw a coworker stealing, what would you do? I was like, I mean, it's not food. It ain't a necessity. So I'd probably just turn them in. The dude was looking at me like, what? Wait, you would let somebody steal food? What is the... He was looking at me. I was like, oh, I thought we were having an honest dialogue.
Right.
My bad. Stealing is wrong under any circumstance. Definitely didn't get the job. I was laughing so hard because of the way he looked at me. I was like, oh, my bad. I thought we were keeping it real. I thought you wanted to know who you were hiring.
Right.
I just told you there's no excuse to steal electronics. That should be a reason to want to hear.
It's Best Buy. This is what we sell here.
And there's nothing to steal here.
You know how hard it is to steal food from Best Buy? Anyway, all the food's in the front. First of all, if somebody can steal food out of Best Buy, you deserve it. It's all in the front by the register. You either are really fast or really sneaky. Either way, congratulations.
Right. Yeah. So,
right.
Nah, man. That's why I'm glad comedy worked out, man. I'm just not made for... I did a McDonald's daggone questionnaire, and it was like, if somebody drops their ice cream, right? Like, what do? I was like, charge them for another ice cream. I gave you one, you dropped it, that's on you. They was like, nah, that's not good customer service. I was like, well, in the house I grew up in, there was no extra ice. You dropped your ice cream. You need to learn how to eat
that's
dirty
their
ice
fault.
cream.
Yeah, definitely their fault.
Right.
I handed it to you. You had it in your hand.
Right.
That was on you.
We believed in this weird thing called accountability, right? Where you just hold folks accountable for the stuff that they did.
I was a complete opposite when it came to that stuff. When it came to fast food, I'm giving away everything. I just didn't care about them jobs. And I didn't care. I knew they was big corporations, they was big companies, and they ain't hurting for none of this. I stayed giving something away. You didn't even have to spill your ice cream. I didn't even have to see you do it. If you said, hey, I dropped my ice cream, and I see the ice cream residue on your mouth, I'd be like, you know what? I believe you. Here's another one. And I just don't care. I just don't care.
Maya, what's going on, man? We got you in the corner for mad long.
Pushing cats.
We 53 minutes deep in here. We got any audience questions?
We do. I did want to ask you about DL before we go into audience questions. That is him passing out on stage, does him passing out on stage and having to be quarantined where he is for 14 days make you nervous about going back on the road?
Me, no, because he didn't pass out from just go. DL was exhausted. He works ridiculous. It's a lot of factors that played into his passing out. So for me, I'm not scared of COVID not going on stage, but it was several things. Even when you watch the video, whoever that dude is that was on stage, he was ready for the pass out.
As a bodyguard.
So he might have told him ahead of time, hey, I don't know if I'm feeling it. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I'll just, without saying too much, I'm not. It's not the COVID that I'm worried about.
He's
quarantined. For me, it's like, I knew he didn't pass out because of COVID, but him being on the road could have exposed him to COVID. And so I'm just like, maybe I'll just wait it out a little bit. I already plan on waiting it out till September anyway, to just be out there traveling and just being in the mix with everybody. So I was just like, yeah, I'm going to still sit down for that travel stuff. So I still don't know. That's how I took that.
I immediately, like I had just said, I was going back on the road. I saw DL faint and immediately recanted what I had put out there in the world. Me, like, I know everybody in that situation. I knew everybody who was there. I know everybody who was there. Seeing that video really hit me differently. Because not only I know the people who ran on stage, I know the people who pulled them into the room. I know that, and I see how that just affected so many people. And it really put, a damper on just the thought of going out, because I don't want to do that. What if that's me and my people have to go do that and they get exposed and all these things? Mm-hmm. So I cut it back, and I was going to wait this like September anyway. Like Tony said, I just told everybody that I was going to go do it, but it wasn't going to be until September or so. So, but after having some conversations with people, I realized, man, I really love comedy. Like, I've given up everything in my life for this. So when I'm not doing it, I'm not happy. I'm not complete. So if I gotta, risk getting sick to do it, man, I might just risk getting sick. I love this. I love this. Ain't nothing else, nothing else in my life replace it. So I'm gonna go out anyway. I made the decision. I talk to my homie Sam J about it all the time. She's like, she ain't going. And I understand that. And I have underlying health conditions. That's how much it is. I don't know, man. I see y'all shaking y'all head, but y'all.
I'm not.
No, it's Tony and.
I'm just like, yeah,
But for me, man, it's not a money thing. Tony can tell you, man, social media. When you get when you learn how to monetize social media, you straight. You ain't hurting in that way. And I'm actually like saving more money than ever before because I'm not going on the road.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, so
me too. I could sit out the rest of the year.
Yeah,
if I wanted to financially. There's no desperation for the money tip. My soul is like, I want to be on stage so bad.
Because this is another thing, man. That's therapeutic. I got some stuff I want to say. I want to say. A lot of people don't realize, a lot of comics, when you watch a comic, we venting. It's something on our minds that we need to get up. And then when everybody laughing, it does something for us because we understand we're not the only ones. Good. There's other people in the world who feel, and then they need to feel that too. You know what I mean? There's stuff that's been going on with them that they need to know they're not the only ones, and we supply that with a joyous feeling on top of that.
Yeah, we get to express what everybody's feeling, but in a fun way.
Yeah,
and like in a way that is just like, okay, cool. That's why we get after the show. They be like, "Hey, man, let me tell you something," and they'll zoom in on that specific, bit that you did. Hey, when you said, I felt that.
So do I want to live? Do I want to live 40 comedy list life, or do I want to live 9 months of doing the most comedy, doing the thing I love the most? I don't know. That's the thing.
I feel you because I already don't live in the fear anyway. Like, I'm respectable. Like, if I walk outside, I wear my mask and all that. But it's not for me. It's for other people to make them feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And but the fear factor, because I'm like, first of all, this is not going anywhere.
No,
it's never leaving.
That's my feeling.
So how long are you going to be afraid?
That's why I
understand cautious and I understand clean, but how long are you going to be afraid? I'm not afraid. I just don't live like that.
I can't do this for 40 years. I can't be on the fence about whether I'm, you know what I mean, going to go out or not. I got to do this comedy, Tony.
Stand inside, it don't even make sense. It's just weakening. If you hide from everybody, it's just weakening your immune system.
Yes.
Like, Tony, at least you go outside every day and go for your walks and whatnot. And you're still, I've seen you since you know what I mean? But some people are like, I have to stay in. You're just becoming a weak, sickly person.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was like, I'm outside the community.
Back in this life? Time.
Man.
What are we doing during the quarantine that's other than, like, some people can be like, we staying alive. But are you? What's the point in having a life if you ain't living? And that was the thing. I was scared, and I have a friend who's a pilot. She was like, look, man, dying is the one thing that is for certain. So go live. Don't be afraid to go live. And I was like, man, you right. Oh, she was like, what's stopping, an earthquake from hitting? Now, what if you stayed in the house trying to get away from COVID and then LA got hit with one of these earthquakes and you done? How stupid would you feel for not going out and living your life? You know what I mean? Or you stayed in a restaurant and some drunk driver drove through your front door and got you. Like, there's so many ways to go. Man, I gotta do what I love, man. I love this. I love this.
Yeah. And again, it's just about the fear. I'm not knocking anybody for being cautious or clean.
Mm-mm.
That's cautious or clean. That's fine. But the fear, come on, that's not me.
Did you see the
podcast? I've ever been. This whole quarantine has gave me some great habits.
Did you see the podcast that got Joe Rogan canceled online?
No, he's supposedly canceled.
He
said something stupid, but he always says stupid stuff. So
he had Brett Weinstein on, and this guy is an evolutionary biologist. He's a PhD. He did his dissertation in bats, and he said he's making a really good case that this came from a lab, and that's the reason why it affects people differently and different tissues, because it was engineered to do so. Now I was like, okay, it's the wet market. It probably is the wet market. But I'm also conspiracy-minded in this way that I'm like, they canceled him so people won't listen to this specific podcast about this expert saying that this was an international lab and it was engineered to see how it could jump from animals to people. And that's why we see so many different symptoms. Don't take my word for it. See the Joe Rogan.
I've heard that several times, though.
Yeah.
Anything that comes out, I could be like, somebody could have made that shit. Every time. Okay. I don't put it past any government not to engineer a virus.
I know.
So I'm all
Tony,
in.
I know you said you never question anything, but anytime you start with I never, I think you're going to say new. Now you got to do it. You got to give me one. You can't start anything with I never.
Though. Anytime something new comes out, I'll be like, did they make that? You know what I'm saying? Like, because people have been filthily eating all kind of animals for mad long. So it's like, remember how they tried to say AIDS came from monkeys? Yeah. They was eating them. That ain't new. They've been doing it. Why is Joe Rogan under fire, though?
Here's what I think.
Just for having a guy on the show?
No, they say it's because of what he said about Joe Biden. But in this particular episode, this guy's an incredibly intelligent man. He talks about Corona and how he's making a good case it came from a lab. He also talks about lab mice and how basically every lab mouse that has been tested on for the past 30 years has been compromised. So we can't trust the results of any pharmaceuticals. And he's saying he won't take pharmaceuticals because of the way that the lab mice have these things called telomeres. It goes at the end of your DNA, and it's how we age. But they're engineered, the ones that are domestic, they're not wild mice or like this. They're engineered to have extra long ones. So all the pharmaceuticals that they test are going to say, oh, yeah, there's no long-term effects. But really, these mice are specially engineered to not have long-term effects. So he's making a really good case. And he almost tanked his career of it before, but he came back and he's making this really, really good case that we can't trust the results of any pharmaceutical testing for the past 30 years. Now, they say Joe Rogan got canceled because of the Joe Biden stuff. But me, as a conspiracy person, I'm like, that is the most interesting thing I have ever heard. And he got canceled a day later?
He's not canceled, though. He's
Joe. He has the biggest podcast
in the world.
He's pretty indestructible at this point.
And he built it. He built it without help.
Yeah.
So
that's why he's indestructible.
That's why he's
indestructible.
They
can say,
gave him
he's canceled.
$100 million just to play it on their platform.
Yeah.
They don't get nothing. They don't get no rights. No, they don't get to keep nothing. Just during this time period, you say you go here to get it, and they can't even charge people. They can't even make money, extra money off of it. They cannot. do anything other than what's already been done.
He's far from canceled. They just be like, shut up, Joe. And that's about as far as that's going to go.
And plus, Joe has said a lot of things he should have been canceled for.
Exactly.
So whatever he said about Joe Biden.
And not even him, his buddies. He defends his buddies on shit they should.
Jesus, he has the worst friends.
He has the worst circle of friends of all time. My God.
He has the worst friends. I know you're in the Comedy Store, so you can't say nothing, Tony, but I got it.
I can say whatever,
are
man.
The worst.
I can say whatever. I'll be like, listen.
You, because you're guilty. That's why you can say whatever you want to.
You know what the thing about COVID for me is that it doesn't scare me because it's something about the flu that just never scared me.
Well, you're in shape.
And like the only thing that scares me about COVID is like if I catch it, then I have to stay in and not move. Mm-hmm. That's the only fear I have. Like, because I feel like if honestly I caught it, and not to be arrogant or anything like that, I feel like I would survive. Yeah. You know, that's my honest, I believe feeling.
Both of you all three of you would. It's with me, it's an issue because I don't think I would. But at the same time, it's like, man, sometimes comedians live too long anyway and ruin their legacy. So
you want to die? You want to die on the go up?
Man, where people, because I'll live forever, like Robin Harris. Robin Harris never got to do his hour special, and you talk to so many people, they'll tell you one of the greatest of all time. So if I go out on the way up, especially if I have something to drop.
The what could have been is a great legacy for people because they be like, "Oh, he never even dropped." Then they'll just slowly release like little clips that you had on. They be like, "Man, he was gonna be one of the greats."
Yeah, Mitch Hedberg. They did the same thing with him. So it's like, you know,
I don't want to die at this age though.
No, of course not. But I mean,
but no, I don't even want to put the risk out there. What if, like when people use that earthquake analogy, I'm like, nah, that ain't enough for me. Like you gotta live your life, but still have some sense. You know, don't just be too reckless because you're living your life.
Like when I was in Vegas this weekend,
just like
people
you
out
only
here
live
reckless.
once. You only live once. Work both ways. You only live once, but you only live once. Now,
right.
Some people doing too much. It's too much freedom. Like I was like, I get you happy to be back out, but still, even if it's not for you, at least do it for the other people. Because a lot of people are doing this selfishly, and that's something I had to even get out of. I was like, I'm gonna be fine. It was like, we know. But that old lady next to you, let's say you did have it, she's not. Mm-hmm. So can you just, and I'll be like, all right, I'll do that.
I'll be honest.
But I'm also not, I ain't tongue kissing strangers. People out here wilding. It's like, yo.
I think I've already had it, but I don't know.
A lot of people did.
I think I did.
I went home for Charlotte. I went home to Charlotte for Thanksgiving to do my Thanksgiving shows. I always do Thanksgiving weekend. Went to Charlotte, did my shows. Was supposed to fly back to LA, had to cancel because I was tore down with this flu. I don't know what it was, but it was
COVID.
That's I couldn't even get out of bed, dog. I couldn't even get out of bed. I was taking so much. I was taking Mucinex, NyQuil, everything. They were like, you can't take too much of this because it'll fuck up your kidneys. I was like, I can't even breathe really good. Like I was so jacked up, but I did not get it identified. I don't know what it was about or anything, so I don't want to act like, say for certain and be reckless out here. I just wish there was a way to be able to tell that, if you had it already, if testing told you if you had it already.
Yeah.
Things of that.
I had a friend.
That would be dope.
I had a friend who had it. I won't say his name because he was like, he ain't told nobody. And he had it. He was like, man, I'm fine. He's like, I had it. They told me his dad made him get tested because his dad is older, freaked out. He said, I want you to go get tested. He got tested. And he was like, yeah, I had it. And I'm good. My kids ain't got it. Girl ain't got it. It's just one of the things I had, and then it passed.
One of my best friends had it, and he had it bad.
Yeah. He said it was chill.
Felt like, he said it was painful to breathe.
Yeah. See, I've heard those
Wow.
stories too. Like Michael Yo said he was coughing up blood and it hurt and all that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't have painful to breathe. I couldn't stop coughing fits to be able to breathe. Like I was taking every cough suppressant known to man just so I could have the moment to breathe. It was bad. So fever, super spiked fever, sweating through everything, sweat through the hole, through your bed sheets, everything. I was jacked up.
Wet bed sheets are the worst.
Yeah.
When you wake up in that sweat, like I gotta move. I can't sleep in that spot anymore.
Yeah. And then it only gets cold after that too, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The worst.
The drying process is mad cold. So it doesn't if it doesn't dry all the way, now you have this cold, wet spot you can't even be in. So you like in the bed doing shapes around the spot.
Miserable.
I think I had
Miserable.
it too. In late February, early March, I passed out in dance class, and my dance teacher said
wow.
my lips were like white, and so I came up and she was like, "What is wrong with you?" And I was like, "I don't know. I walked here. I was fine. Like I thought I was fine. I could walk, but like the overexertion of the dance, and it's African dance, so it's like jumping and all this stuff. I've been to dozens of dance class. Exactly.
You look like a puffy video.
And she said my lips were white, and she said I was gonna call the ambulance, but.
Did you have on your A6 in dance class?
No, barefoot.
Okay. You tapping into the
I was
ancestors.
about to
Respect
say,
your
my
bare
African dance is done in sneakers, son.
Okay.
You need to get in
I've
touch
had-
with your roots.
You know,
Might be wearing
Asics
Asics,
all the time. So we were
never
just
know.
like, you never know.
But yeah, they
I
said it was
haven't
here.
knock on wood, I haven't been like fever sick at all. I just get the dizzy spells. But I'd rather take the flu-like symptoms over this dizzy crap. But
Dizzy thing's been too long. That's why.
it's just
Like
it's
at
just
first it was like,
it's
okay.
so random.
And then now it's like, all right, it's been a while now. This is enough.
And it keeps coming out of nowhere, and I'm just like, bro.
With
You
no
know, at
answer.
least with the flu, you
He's
know
gonna run
you're
his
gonna get
course.
through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Run your course, dizzy spells. But other than that, like I haven't been, I don't really, knock on wood, I don't get like sick like that. So I don't think I've had COVID based on,
Yeah, I
you
definitely
could have it
haven't.
and not have
Yeah.
any symptoms.
Yeah.
But I can't honestly say that, man, it was one moment where I felt like I had it. I can't say that I've had that. Once I left Cincinnati March 15th, all right, I'm sitting down. And I just been like local, walking around, going shopping and stuff like that. I just don't want people to be so defiant and, ain't no COVID out here that they out here with it and then they expose people like my dad or my stepmom because they being stupid. That's the bullshit I hate. I ain't wearing no mask and then they breathing in my dad's eyeballs.
Yeah.
And it's just,
That's what I said. Even if it's annoying, just do it for other people. Just step out of yourself for a second. Because I am beyond annoyed with the mask. I think fear tactics are stupid. I'm that person. But I will play along for everybody else. Just, if it puts you at ease. We went to get tacos the other night. I forgot my mask. So I sat in the car. I didn't want to freak nobody out in line. I was like, all right, I'll just sit in the car and chill out. Like, it's not that big of a
was the
deal.
tacos good?
I didn't even get any. I had just ate. I wasn't even hungry.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm good.
Do we have time for one question?
Let's do one question to get the hell out of here.
Okay, this is an interesting question. Zuri and Pops writes, "Hello, Tony, Keon, Maya, and of course Ryan. I'm a 49-year-old Black man and would like to know what you guys think on the use of the N-word. Do you guys think it's time to stop calling each other the N-word in everyday convo?"
My take on the N-word is that I find myself editing where and when I say it. And you know what? Honestly, like when I say it, I feel it every time I say it. Like it hasn't always been that way for me. Like when I say it, I'm like, ooh, I just said nigga. And it's it didn't always flow out of me like that where I was just like conscious of it. I'm big on context. Like if I hear a white person, they know every single word to a rap song and niggas in there and they say it, I'm not even gonna flinch because I know the context of it, so I don't feel triggered by it. But with us saying it, I don't know. I don't know how I feel, but I just know I feel a certain way now when I say it. But I can't fully sit here and say where I'm at with it, without me just rambling and saying some shit.
Do you follow the hashtag niggas be like? It's a really funny hashtag on Instagram and it's super, super inappropriate. So I wouldn't recommend following this hashtag if you're sensitive at all.
I'm about to look it up right now.
But the thing is, a lot of that's not even in English, and they still use that word. Like I can't even identify a lot of the languages that it's in. But that word is everywhere now, in every population that has been exposed to hip hop culture. They just use it like they would say "dude."
Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean. Like, not everybody that says nigga, they don't mean it as an attack. They just grew up with that word being normalized within like the hip hop community. So they're just saying it, that's why I'm always like, I don't immediately get triggered when other people say it right off the bat. It just comes with that context and intent.
Keon, what do you think?
Does niggas be like a certain way? You know what I'm saying?
Niggas be like, it's a funny hashtag.
I guess I never even think about it, honestly. Because it's like, it's just, like I said, a part of my culture. So I never think about it at all. I couldn't even tell you if I said it 0 times in a day or 36 times. Like, I don't know. It's not a thing for me. Like, as far as others, if I hear it, I'll just be like, hey, you're not supposed to say that. But it's kind of, and it's not even, it's kind of like the word bitch with women. I don't say that to women, but if women want to say it to each other, that's their thing. Like, who am I to say y'all can't do that? Like, if that's what they want to do, and they ain't saying it out of malice to each other, it's just how they talk. Well, some are, but it's like Tony said, contents, so I don't really have an opinion on it. Like, I just be like, that's just how we talk.
Okay, so I wanted to go last on purpose because I use the word more than everybody on here. So, and this is a conversation that's near and dear to my heart. I'm glad that he described who he was whenever he said it, because that does matter whenever I'm asked the question. For one, Dick Gregory would say nigga, and he marched with Martin Luther King. So if he doesn't find a problem with saying nigga, good luck getting me to stop saying it. Because he dedicated his life to trying to get equality for black people, and he sacrificed his career.
His family too. You see his unson?
So that's for one. And for two, it's cultural, baby. Like, at the end of the day, the only time I don't say it is when I'm the only black person in the room. If I'm in a room full of non-black people, I have no reason to say it because we ain't in there. So Exactly. It ain't no point in saying it because it ain't for everybody. It is our word. And no, you don't. If we stop saying it, who will we stop saying it for? And we stop saying it for us? We're not stop saying it for us. We're stop saying, if we do stop saying it, we stop saying it to make others comfortable. And when has anyone ever stop doing anything to make us comfortable? Nah, It's fine. We don't have to stop doing stuff that it's cool with us or that we do to make others comfortable. Everybody has a choice. Every black person has a choice of whether they want to say it or whether they want to say it or not. You can make the choice not to say it, and that is completely fine.
It's completely fine.
It's completely fine. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna always say it, and I call objects nigga. So it ain't even about.
I definitely do that.
I definitely do that.
These niggas right here, it'd be it'd be 2 squirrels outside.
Right. Thank you. So it ain't even, for me, it ain't even about race.
That's so
you know
factual.
what? You know what gives me pause on the nigga word though is that some black people are offended by it. I'm not even worried about people outside of black. I don't care how you feel about the word. But it'd be black people, like older black people, I wouldn't feel comfortable saying it in their presence.
That's fine.
And that's just honestly me.
Yeah, that's fair. I have a friend who's
But that's
like,
the thing. But that's also a thing.
But it's our thing.
Yeah, that's a conversation for us to have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they say, hey, don't say that around me.
Right.
The older generation, they can literally say, don't say whatever around. They can say, don't say Brian around me, and I won't say it. I just respect the older generation like that. I'll say my name is something else until I'm out of the room.
Don't say your name.
Yeah.
Don't you say your name.
Yeah,
1965, everybody with your name, they got lynched.
You see what I'm saying? And I just have a respect because they lived a different experience than I did. But, you know, whenever I say somebody is my friend, that tells you that I know this person, you know, from something or whatever. If I tell you somebody is my nigga, that means I fuck with them on a whole different level. I don't know how the language is on this show, so I apologize.
No, we don't give a shit.
No, we good.
All right, so that means that just means I rock with you on a whole different level. I'll be like, if someone's like, do you know such and such? Yeah, that's my friend. Yeah, we rock with each other. Or it's like, do you know such and such? Oh, that's my nigga. Oh, that's, yeah, of course. Oh, absolutely. It's different. So context is everything. I use it as a term of endearment, and I do also mean it in an insulting way. You know what I mean? Like, man, we were all supposed to be there at 8 o'clock. This nigga didn't show up to 9:45. Right. There's nothing positive about the way I just said it. So, but I'm using it for everything, and that's the way I talk. The one thing that in this society that we live in, being black, American black, is a unique thing. There's nothing like us anywhere else in the world. When you travel anywhere else in the world, we don't have many things that we can call cultural, but our language and our music and things of that nature is what we have. It's the one thing that we do have. So when we start letting people get to us in a way that makes us take these things away from us, what are we going to replace it with? Are you going to do a 23andMe and then choose one of the things that come up with it and learn that culture and then immerse yourself into that? Because I'm not doing that. I grew up in a place where they called us niggas and we turned it into something else. That's my culture. That's what I come from. Yeah. So that's my answer, nigga. Hope that helps.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you 100%.
I feel that.
Tony said objects, or I think Ryan said it.
I said objects. So he was like,
he said objects.
That's what really put it in perspective. Because I remember I was walking down Hollywood and slipped on a flyer in the rain. I didn't fall, but you know how you slip on, them flyers.
Yeah. And
I remember I did it, and I was like, nigga? And like, it was a flyer. It was a flyer. And I was just like, we just say it. It's not and
it's
I agree
a noun,
with
it's an adjective, it's a verb, it's all of that.
And I agree with not letting other people dictate how we speak. Like, now I will respect the individual. I have a friend who was like, I would not like to be referred to like that.
Right.
Fine. No problem.
Yeah.
I respect your decision to do so. But in my context or when I'm talking or texting or whatever, I'll be saying it.
Yeah. And if you have that, and I would do it that way too. I'll be like, it was me, it was that nigga Keon, it was my nigga Tony, Rob. There was it was Rob, my nigga Maya. Like that's just the way I would do it. I respect your wishes, but I'll just Dick Gregory said, who told you couldn't say that? That's crazy to take something. Do you know how powerful it is to take something that they use to hurt you and then not only take it away from them to where they can't hurt you, but then stop them from saying it too? That is so gangster. Why would you want to take that away?
They hate the fact that they cannot say it. They always want to get in on it.
Like, and you know what was crazy? It's not even the word. It's just them being left out. We could say runamuckle. And if that was a word, they'd be like, we just want to say runamuckle. And no, that's ours. Like, it's just a left out thing. It is not that. They just hate being... Look at the math. Look at everything in the country. They hate being told no.
They grew up in a world where everything was available to them. and they don't even and then that's what makes me laugh. The ones that go, I don't have a privilege. Yes, you have the privilege of believing that nothing doesn't belong to you. Whenever we understand differently, there was this thing where this girl wore a Chinese dress to prom, and then the Chinese community came after her, and then this one woman was trying to get me to understand. She was like, this one white woman was like, I thought the dress looked pretty. Why in the world would it? I was like, did you know the cultural meaning of the dress? How do you know it wasn't a dress made for funerals? How do you know it wasn't a dress that was for? Did you ask anybody the context? If you're gonna try to do something or try to use something or wear something or do anything that's a part of someone else's culture, you owe it to the people of that culture to do the research.
Yeah.
It's only a select group, and we know who they are. There's no need to even say what the group is, but there is a select group in this world that feels as though everything is theirs to sample. Everything is theirs to taste. Everything is theirs to, be a part of. And you should feel honored that I want to do this with you. No, I don't. And you can't have it. And that's it. You can't have it. You don't get to enjoy my anthem and not have my blues.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's real. All right, we got to wrap it up. I got 5% left on this laptop.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan, for coming back
bro.
and doing this for the alleged third, fourth time.
I'm going to watch Godfather for you.
Yes.
Watch The Godfather 1 and 2. You got to watch them both.
Do it for you.
Now,
it's really like one movie, but man,
it's good. Now, how they use nigga in Godfather, definitely not good.
Not at all. The mobsters never respect blacks
in
them joints. Pisses me off every time. That's why The Godfather in Harlem is dope. Anyway, so if you have any questions for us, ask us in the YouTube comment section. We'll tackle them on the show. Thank you, Maya, for holding us down. Thank you, Ryan, once again. We're going to have you back again, too.
I love to come back.
So just be ready.
Yeah, come back, nigga.
Yeah. Come on back, nigga. I don't know where I'll be, but I'll be somewhere. I'll be at home. I'll probably be doing another movie night soon this Sunday. And Keon, what you got going?
Same old shit. I didn't plan. I heard that I might be doing some stuff in August, September, maybe. But as far as recent, I ain't doing nothing but hanging out with my family and posting on the internet.
Ryan, what you got going?
I've got some stuff coming out. Shot some stuff with Sidney Castillo. Was I'm gonna be in Corey Holcomb's music video when that drops. I got some stuff I'm working on. My podcast pretty much just sold that for 10 episodes. Was about to go into production for that, and I'm gonna go back out on tour, man. I'm trying to stay busy, just trying to further my career. That's it, man. Just trying not to be in LA for no reason. Being that I'm here, I got so no personal life. This is the closest thing to a personal life I got. Be able to talk to my niggas about some real shit. So good, man. Appreciate y'all.
There it is, man. All right, y'all. We out here.
We out.